the last thing you need to be doing is figuring out, how do I pack up all this silver and keep it, safe and portable. What's going on, stackers? Hope everyone's having a great day. Just want to do a quick video and talk about how we can protect our stack when there is a disaster on the way. With all this recent storm, I live down in Florida, and thankfully we did not take a direct hit from Hurricane Ian, and my thoughts go out to all the people who did. I hope everyone's doing all right from the storm, but we didn't know if it was going to come, hit us or not. And so one of the things that you start thinking about, and maybe some stackers are better preppers than me, but I got to be honest, I don't think about it every day, is if I've got to evacuate, what am I going to do with my silver? Gold, I'm not so worried about. Gold's very portable. I think, after this latest experience, it's a good idea to have a plan. But most people don't have so much gold that you need, a big box or something to haul it in. You can just, that's kind of one of the nice things. You get it maybe in a little PCGS box, or you throw what you have in your pocket, and then you're off to the races. But silver obviously is a much different story. We all know, especially as we start stacking more, we've got a lot of it. You want to be able to grab and go. It's going to be heavy, that, and then if you don't have any thought of what you're going to do with it, or any boxes or any crates or whatever, all of a sudden you could be caught in a real bind when that storm's coming in, and you're worried about getting your family, your dogs, your cats, your birds, what the heck ever, throwing some food in the car. The last thing you need to be doing is figuring out, how do I pack up all this silver and keep it, safe and portable. So one thing I thought of, though, as I was going through this in my own mind, are something that I've actually used to store silver for a long time, which are surplus ammo cans. And, it's very ironic. When I was younger, I've been stacking silver since I was, maybe 8, 9, 10 years old. I used to go to the flea market a lot, and there were a lot of silver coin dealers out at the flea market, and there were also a couple booths where they sold military surplus. And one idea my dad had was, hey, let's buy a couple of these surplus ammo cans that are really cheap, and we can put our silver in it. And, looking back, that was a really freaking good idea. Number one, just for regular storage, these cans are solid. I mean, this one's a little old and musty, and you can see that the date on it was 1954. But think about this. This thing was, I don't know if that's an expiration date or if that's the date that this was packed. But either way, this effing box is older than me. So, and I'll tell you, it looks a lot better based on its age than I sure do. I'll put a link in the description. There's a couple places online where you can get these, but I mean, back then we probably paid a couple bucks for them. And the nice thing is, number one, they are made to carry heavy stuff. This thing is, these handles are all, this is all steel. It's not stainless. I mean, they can rust. Some of the older ones will rust, but I mean, think about it. If you pack this thing with ammo, it's going to be very heavy. And so packing it with silver really is not going to be that different than packing it with ammo. The next thing that is really important is when you open it up, you can see there's a rubber seal here. These things are frickin' waterproof. And I've seen people test it, even these old surplus ones. They do not take on water. They just don't. So again, if you're going out in a storm, and God forbid you drop one into a, I don't know, it gets submerged or something, or even if you can't take it with you and your house gets flooded, you know that whatever is inside of here is going to stay dry. And if it's silver, it's going to be heavy, so hopefully it ain't going to float off. So this is what it looks like empty. There's a good amount of space in here, and these come in all different sizes. I like I don't even know how this big. This is probably what, like it's about 4 inches. I like this size only because they're not too heavy. You know, there are some that are double the size of this, and I'm sure they would hold all the silver you could put in it, but that's going to be, you know, maybe a little bit extra to lug around with one hand. So I found that if I load one of these with silver, it's heavy, but it's not heavy enough that I can't pick it up and carry it with one hand. So this is what they look like. Again, I'm going to put a link in the description, but you know, next thing is, well, what can we really fit? You know, that's great. We've got something it's waterproof, all that. It's got this nice little latch here. I mean, look at that. Friggin' solid, man. No one's opening that. Sometimes even if you want to, you can't get the damn things open. But how much silver or bullion, like let's say you got a lot of gold, how much can we fit? So I happen to have packed one right over here. So let's take a look. So I just slung as much stuff as I could find. So I've got a bunch of slabbed coins in here. I've got some loose stuff, just some loose, you know, rounds. Some more loose, well, they're not rounds, colonial, whatever you want to call it, junk silver, whatever. Some mostly halves, and then we got a little piece dollar there. I've got a bunch of Canadian junk silver. This is, I don't know the weight, but this is it's about 60 ounces of silver, so it's probably, this is actually probably about 100 ounces of just coin, you know. And then I put a bunch of 10 ouncers in here. So see, we've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 10 ouncers, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tubes of 20, so that's another 140 ounces. So just between these alone, there's over 300 ounces in here. So 300 ounces, let's see, that is 10 pounds. I don't know, it's probably around 17 pounds. I'm going to do the math, and I'll put that in the actual description alone. And then if I throw on these, so I would guess all told, we've got about 20 pounds of bullion in this case. And honestly, I could fit more. I could fit more if I wanted to. Maybe not a lot more. I could probably fit a couple more tubes or something. Or if I had more 10 ouncers, you know, you could, I mean, God, these 10 ounces, you could fit a ton of them in one of these cases. Now, I did check, you know, a can like this, I think is meant to hold, say, 1,000 rounds of 9mm ammo. 1,000 rounds of 9mm ammo, I think, is around 10 pounds, I believe. So, you know, that's the one thing. I don't know. I mean, you can see I'm holding it here. This thing's, it's not going anywhere. This thing's like 70 years old. It's doing just fine. There's no strain, there's no stress. So I would imagine that this box is going to hold just as much silver as you could possibly put into it, or gold. If you're lucky enough to have enough gold to fill this thing up, I want to be friends. But no, I mean, it's, you know, it's a great buy. So again, I'm going to put a link in the description to an online retailer that sells surplus US ammo cans. One other thing I would say is don't go looking for this on Amazon. I've seen some on Amazon. A lot of them are foreign made. There's a lot of plastic ones out there. And I do have some plastic ammo cans that I use for ammo. They're not bad. They're durable for what it is, if I'm just going to carry some ammo around. But the thing that's not good, and they're probably even going to be waterproof too, but they're not really going to be flame resistant. I can't imagine any plastic that's going to stand up to a fire. So I wouldn't go the plastic route. I wouldn't go find one of these on Amazon that's not, you know, a government surplus, because when you think about it, the military made these to, they made them to hold heavy metals, aka ammunitions, and keep it dry and keep it safe from all sorts of stuff, so it could then be used to kill people at a later date. But you know, these boxes, I know if it's military grade surplus, that it was built specifically for that job. You don't know if you're getting a knockoff or an old one or a foreign one or whatever, kind of like those plastic ones that might be really made just to kind of carry ammo around and not necessarily thinking with you know, a super anti-destructive mindset. So again, just wanted to put this out there. I felt it was good to think about, as I've seen some pretty bad stuff, you know, from this latest storm. And you know, might be a good option if you have to evacuate from whatever's going on. Doesn't even have to be a hurricane, you know, and you need something to stack your silver in. It might just be a good idea to keep a few of these hanging around in case the need ever arises. So look, I hope you all found this helpful. If you did, or even if you didn't, please like the video, please subscribe. I'll bring you more stacking content as often as I can. Have a great night. Have a great weekend, stay safe, and go get yourself some inexpensive, heavy-duty government surplus ammo cans to hold your silver. Take care, everyone. Have a great one.